Hey everybody, this is Ben, and back here this week for the cigar review. And this week I'm doing something that was gifted to me by one of our good friends, Tim from CigarGeeks.com. As y'all probably have noticed, we do a lot of talking back and forth and talk about different cigars, and I've been on their show twice so far. And one of the cigars that came up on the first show that we did, Chris and I did with them, they were talking about the Garmirian cigar line. And it's one I don't have a lot of common knowledge about. I've never tried one at that point. And so I was really interested and intrigued by what they were saying about how great the cigar was. But they're pretty hard to find. They've been around since really before the first cigar boom in 1990. They were released in Washington, D.C. And then around March of 91, they actually was released nationwide. And the staple cigar is called the Gourmet series. Well, talking back and forth after that with the Stogie Geek guys, Paul and Tim, and Stogie Santa, we kind of try to figure out maybe, which ones I might like to try, whatever. And, Sean on the site also, he's actually enjoyed the regular Gourmet series, the original line, and enjoys it immensely. And he actually gifted me one, which I tried after that show. And I really fell in love with that cigar. And one of the ones that was kind of hard to find that Tim was able to get a hold of was called the Reserva Exclusiva. And it's part of the Gourmet line, but it's kind of, obviously it's a limited edition one. It's just limited in tobacco, not in, it's a standard core line, but it's just got limited edition tobaccos in it. The tobaccos in here are actually 10 years old, both the wrapper, binder, and filler. As you can see, it's a box press, and this is what they call the Corona Extra, and it's a 5.5 by 46, which Tim said is probably the best of the line, which of the size, the one that has the most balance and flavor, and which is great because, as most of you know, this is my favorite size of all cigars. So at least that's in most cigar lines it is anyway. So anyway, he gifted me this with a couple of other cigars, and I really was looking forward to trying this cigar out. The MSRP is about $10 when you run across them, and it has an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, a Dominican binder, and filler from Dominican and Ecuador also. And from what I can find on the internet, it's all 10-year-old tobacco in this cigar. Really nice looking cigar. Like I said, it's about $10 a stick. I looked at a few places online, and they're all about the same price. 5 packs for around $45-50. Some as low as $39.99, but they were sold out. But you can back order them. But anyway, they're pretty hard to get a hold of, from what I can see. But you can still buy them. They're still available. It's not a limited once a year kind of a thing or nothing like that. For instance, Atlantic Cigar says they'll be back in within less than a week. So, and they're selling them for $45 a 5-pack and $225 for a box. And I've seen the boxes go for as low as $209 on a few websites on the internet. But anyway, let's get a better look at this cigar here. Really nice wrapper. It doesn't have much of a sheen, as you can see. It's kind of a real matte finish to it. It's actually got a real velvety finish to it, actually. Let's look at the cap here. Come on, focus. Usually this thing that had that problem focusing. Anyway, that's because we're going to get it. Pretty nice cap there. And the foot. Let's see. Alright, focus on the foot. Nice fill. It actually doesn't have much of a smell on it at all in the wrapper. I mean, just a very, very faint hay kind of a smell to it. That's about it. The foot has a more stronger earthy smell to it, but that's about it. Not very much. It's supposed to be, a full-bodied cigar. Matter of fact, one side actually called it extra full. So I don't know if that was in early 90s extra full, or is it today's extra full? Because that's two totally different animals nowadays. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and now cut this thing. Get my cutter out here. Just using my Zycar redwood cutter here. I actually wish I had my V-cut. I like V-cutting these box presses. It just makes a neater cigar. Smoking experience anyway. So I had no problem with it whatsoever. Really good draw. That great milkshake draw, which I like. Really enjoyable. The flavors on the cold draw is really just kind of a woody, slight flavors of hay, and that's pretty much it. So anyway, kind of from the aroma of the cigar and the flavors on the cold draw, I don't see how this is going to be full bodied, but I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Go ahead and use this. Tons of smoke coming off of it. The taste is full of flavor. They can definitely get that. It's a very interesting flavor profile. I mean, right off the bat, this, before I say anything else, this is the only sample I have. This is the very first one. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Just remember, this is the only one that I've had. So this is a first impressions on the Garmirian Reserva Exclusiva, sorry. Reserva Exclusiva. So keep that in mind. So far, it's got a really nice, it has like almost a syrupy feel on the palate. It just kind of like the smoke just kind of just envelops your whole palate. It just kind of just sits there. But it has a really nice buttery, woody flavor. A slight floral note, which is kind of interesting. I kind of wasn't expecting that, but I'm getting that right off the bat. No spices whatsoever. Which is, I don't know, I was thinking I would get that anyway, but. There's a little bit, just like a hint of white pepper, but it's very faint. It's not there yet, but I kind of pick it up. Like every other puff, it seems like that I'm taking all this thing. I get a little bit more, just a little bit more. So far, I'm really liking where this is going. So I'm going to smoke this probably down to about a third, and I'll be back to let you know how it is. See you in a second. Everybody, I'm back. And I'm done with the first third now. This cigar has got absolute ton of flavors. I mean, they constantly just come rolling off the palate. That syrupiness, kind of that I was talking about earlier before, almost like a butter, like a thick butter. What it kind of reminds me of, if you're a wine drinker and you drink white wines like a Chardonnay or something like that, you get like what they call oakiness, which is kind of a kind of a butteriness about the wine. That's exactly what this is like. But it's also got a sweetness to it, so it's kind of like that oakiness that you get with that white wine kind of thing, but it's sweet. So it almost kind of reminds you of like a toffee or a caramel, something like that, with some sweetness to it. It has, you know, a little bit of spice, not very much. It has a little bit of white pepper, but also has like a hint of cinnamon in it. also with that, or like a nutmeg or something like that. Just that, you know, a nice, you know, like Christmas spice almost, but it's very, very mellow. It's just kind of an accent in there. I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting like a nuttiness to it also that kind of rounds out the whole rest of the cigar. So far, it's going on really, really well. I'm really, really liking the cigar a lot. Now Tim's got me in a bind here. I'm going to have to go find more of these things. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smoke probably the second third about where that, you know, the Reserva Exclusiva band's out there. And then I'll be back to let you know how it's going from that point. See you in a second. Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm a little bit past where I wanted to. I actually smoked into the band and burnt the bottom piece of the band, as you can see. I got so involved in smoking it, I didn't realize I was smoking into the band. Anyway, it's such a rich cigar. I'm really loving this cigar. It has that nice creamy butteriness to it, like that oak woody flavor to it. That butteriness has a sweetness to it that really reminds me of like a caramel or a toffee flavor or something like that. It's really good. And I'm getting more of that spice as it burns further down. I'm getting more spice. I'm getting a white pepper and like a cinnamon note to it, or like a nutmeg also. It's just really, really good cigar. There is picking up kind of like a slight coffee note to it that's really freaking good. I mean, this is one of the best cigars I've had this year by far. I'm not even done with it yet. So that's how much I'm enjoying this cigar. The flavors on it are just absolutely dynamite. I can already tell you, this is box worthy for me. This is a no-brainer box worthy cigar. I mean, this is one of the best cigars. The flavors are just absolutely astounding. It's got what I love. It's almost my perfect flavor profile. It has a nice butteriness to it with like a sweetness, like a caramel, kind of a toffee flavor. Mix it with a little bit of nice, almost like you could say, kind of like a Christmas spice. That kind of nutmeg, allspice, clove, and cinnamon kind of a spice, almost like a Christmas cookie type of spice to it, or something like that. You know, with that little bit of a coffee note to it. It's just outstanding. Outstanding cigar. There is a leatheriness that kind of runs through the whole cigar, but it's actually more faint. I can really pick it up at the beginning of the cigar, but as it burns down, it fades. It doesn't go away, but it kind of takes a back seat to everything else. Really, it's that buttery, oaky kind of toffee flavor that I get with that little, that mild spice, you know, white pepper, kind of a cinnamon that I get from it. That's really what the core of this cigar is. So far, absolutely freaking spectacular. So I don't know what I can add to that, but I'll come back and give you my final impressions if you can't figure out what that already be by now anyway. But I'm going to finish this off till I'll probably be burning my fingers, and I'll give you my final thoughts. See you in a second. Hey everybody, I'm about done with the cigar. Wow, this is one of the most flavorful cigars that I've ever had. The strength though is actually probably medium body. I wouldn't think it would be really full, but it's definitely full flavored. I'm still getting all of those original flavors. I'm still getting that nice buttery toffee with the oak flavor. I'm getting that white pepper and that cinnamon note. I'm getting a leatheriness to it, but as it kind of burned down even more, I started picking up a cocoa note, which was freaking awesome. That's probably one of the last flavors that I would have actually have picked to throw in a cigar if I was blending it myself. So, outstanding flavor on this cigar. Really, really good. This is one that is, for me, is box worthy. Absolutely no doubt. I mean, this is just no doubt whatsoever. This is box worthy. So, if your flavor profile is anything like mine, you need to seek these out and try to get them. I mean, I did a search on Google, and I probably found about 6 or 7 places that have them. So it's definitely worth seeking out and checking out. It's just an amazing, amazing cigar. I really want to thank Tim from Stogie Geeks for sending me this. Really awesome smoke. So I cannot wait to get more of these. I hate myself because I don't have more of these sitting here now. Because if I had another one, I would smoke another one right behind this one, which I rarely ever do. Matter of fact, I think I've only done that twice in my, let's see, probably 12 years of smoking cigars, 12, 13, something like that. Twice. I would do it with this, no doubt, no doubt. This is not something, it's not a flavor profile that I would tire of very easy or want to change up just to do something, have something a little bit different. This is freaking awesome. This is hands down one of the best cigars I've had. Just the flavor is amazing. And about 9 to 10 bucks a stick, totally worth that. Absolutely, totally worth that. So, I'm really wanting to seek out more Paul Garmirian sticks. Like I said, I tried the Gourmet Series, the regular line. I thought it was pretty good. Not on this level. This is freaking awesome. This is amazing. I still have a Symphony 20 in there that I'm going to try out. I got one of those. My buddy Tom that you saw me review on here with me a few times, he picked me up another Gourmet Series. I also picked me up a Gourmet Maduro, which I've never had. So you'll probably see at least both of those coming up soon too. So keep an eye out for those. And on that note, remember, nothing beats a nice tight ash.